Sarwat, we haven't seen the film, and although we've tried to get a private sort of a link to it, लेकिन I believe कि कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि it's going to play in theaters in Pakistan as well after a couple of cuts maybe.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you play the character Nuchi.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your character.
So I'll tell you a little bit about the film.
Yeah.
It's a film set in a small house in Lahore, Gawal Mandi. So we were, kidding like Gawal Mandi se Kaan tak ka safar.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And I think Saim wanted to talk about those issues we generally don't see in films. Films are normally very sugar-coated or commercial and sanitized, So I felt like it talks about patriarchal society. It talks about the pressures on a woman to give birth to a male child in the family, the pressure of a girl who's Rasti, she wants to work, and how it sort of fringes between how she has to stay home and take care of the family. So how difficult it is for a girl to work in a Pakistani family after getting married.
Right.
And I think that goes in any strata, really,
Absolutely.
not just the lower or middle class stratas. So that, and how if you don't have a job, Ali doesn't have a job initially, and how he's treated in the house because he's the younger son and the older son is the earning one.
Right.
So, so those dynamics were beautiful. I am the older son's wife.
Right.
And Ali mostly works in the kitchen with me.
Right.
Because I'm at home, I have 4 girls, I'm pregnant with the fifth time,
Right.
and I'm expecting, the doctor has said I'm having a baby boy.
And do you have baby boys
No.
before that? This is the first baby
No,
boy.
so
Right.
this is the first, and then I eventually have a baby girl.
Oh, okay.
So the pressure, and that thing that, I was expected to finally deliver a baby boy and it didn't happen. And how the dynamic of her and Mumtaz, played by Rasti, how they play out. I mean, it's not very typical, that there is competition, but there's also sisterhood.
Right.
And it's very natural and it's very truthful and it's very honest, those feelings. And how I see their relationship working out. There's friction, there's love, there's sort of accommodation to each other's priorities. Also what happens later when Ali gets a job and how he meets Alina. So all of that, and just Sania Saeed is our neighbor, and those nosy neighbors, ki ghar pe kya ho raha hai? And Salman Pirzada is playing the father of the house.
Right.
And just working with Salman Pirzada was just so delightful.
Yeah.
And he's so knowledgeable, and there's so much that he brings to the table, without even saying much.
Right.
And Sohail Sameer is playing my husband. And lots of these beautiful
Another
kids.
fantastic actor.
Another fantastic actor. So I think it was a real big powerhouse of great actors.
Yeah.
Ali, Rasti and Alina were just out of this world. I was inspired at times. There were scenes where the entire day was one scene, and it was a very emotional, dark scene. And I would come on the set because I'm just, I do my homework at home. I don't want to bring my homework to the set. I want to bring it in front of the screen. So I would come all chirpy, and I see these 2 people totally depressed, cornered, and in their zone. And I'd be like, oh my God, I think I need to pick up my game and be in that state of mind. But that doesn't work for me. And I think Saim really liked that also. He said, you would be so normal and nonchalant, and the minute I'd say cue, you would give me things and which I saw on edit.
Yeah.
And at that time I was like, okay, theek hai, kar liya, I think ho gaya. But he's like, on the edit, you're something else.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that bit also. So I think overall, it's a story that everybody can relate to, whether you come from a high-class house or a lower middle class or middle-class house. You understand every problem that we go through. There were a lot of shades of white, black, and grey.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you understand that human. You know, they may have difficulty in showing that they care, but at the end of the day, they are real human beings. They're not just characterized in this fantasy world. They are around us. These characters are around us.
Absolutely.
So very relatable.
Very relatable.
Very, you know, it pulls a string in the heart when Sania's scenes are beautiful.
What do you think clicked with the international audience? Because एक बहुत बड़ा आता है on Sharmeen's work as well, which is I think very unfair. But people do say, and this criticism does arise over and over again, that you know, whenever you make a film or a story on the underbelly of Pakistani society, or when you're picking up issues that are show Pakistan in a negative light, and those are the ones that are picked up internationally, whether it's one of Sharmeen's stories or even Darling, Siam's first film. So about the transgender problems or problems with sexuality, whatever. How do you feel about that? Do you think there's truth to that, or?
I mean, I just feel that when we saw all the rest of the films, they do talk about their truth. So every truth cannot be shiny and glittery, right?
Yeah.
Those truths are coming from different countries, what they face. It may be sexuality in some. It may be hardship of a relationship in some, and how men are treated in a society, how women are treated in a society. Our film was about trans, this trans girl, and how, what are the difficulties that she feels and goes through.
How is this household affiliated with her?
So she's not affiliated with the house.
She's not.
She's not. Ali meets her in the workplace setting.
Right.
And that's how she's sort of indirectly affiliated to the family.
Right.
Our film does talk about transgender issues, that community. And I feel that, Amna, right now, globally, the trans community is trying to elevate themselves, whether that's in professional or personal circumstances. And I think that this was a great time for a film like this, and a topic like this came out of Pakistan, because as we see, Pakistan is going through a lot of, there are discriminations, and then there are values given to them. They have an identity card now. They are, in big professions like doctors and lawyers and M&As.
M&As, absolutely.
So it's very important to highlight that, that look, Pakistan is bringing a story, but this is what Pakistan is doing. We are considered to be closed-minded, but in reality, we are not. We are trying to pick up that community along with the rest of our mainstream community. So I felt this is what clicked to the global audience and to the jury who picked this film up.
It was just relevant on a global scale.
On a global scale.
And it came across as a sincere story.
Yes.
Very, very honest storytelling.
Yes, because it didn't feel like we were trying to cook up a story.